Hello? Oh, hey Brad, how are you doing today? Oh yeah, we're about to record episode 31.
We're kind of live right now.
Yeah, hold on a second. I'm talking to Brad. Don't worry, hold on.
You mean 32?
Yeah, I meant
it is
32.
episode
Yep,
32.
sorry, Brad.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's up? You're over at GenCon right now? That's awesome. Yeah. Okay. No, you're not doing that, are you? Yeah, he says he saw our video about adding new houses.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You're adding 2 new houses to KeyForge? What?
Whoa.
Why would you... Oh, you're cycling houses out. All right, Brad.
Which house is that?
All right. I'll reserve judgment. But, yeah, we'll have to talk about this later. This is going to be interesting. Dinosaurs? All right, you sold me now. I'm
What?
excited.
I thought they got destroyed.
All right.
What? Didn't the meteor destroy them
All
all?
right.
Like 75 million? What? I'm
Yeah.
confusion.
Yeah, we'll get back to recording now. All right, bye, Brad. See ya. Have fun at GenCon. All right, bye. Welcome to Cardboard Box Games.
I'm Adam.
I'm Adam.
I'm Andrew.
Today, we're going to be talking about all the stuff that's been happening at GenCon. New houses, the winning decks, and new abilities, the release cycle, all this stuff. And man, I can't say how excited I am, but I am excited. Let's get started.
So the first house we're going to be talking about is Soaring Republic. They are a dinosaur house, and apparently they're 75 million years old. You would think they'd be hit by a meteor, but no, they got missed. They didn't.
So they're from another planet.
Oh.
Maybe.
I mean, they could be still from this planet. They could be hiding, or it could be from
From
another
all the
planet.
information I found, they've been on Crucible for 75 million years. So if
Secretly.
they,
Where is the Crucible? Is it on Earth?
Is it another dimension?
who knows?
Whoa.
What's the second house?
The second house is the Grand Star Alliance. Basically, these are like time travel people, very smart, high-tech people, and they basically crash landed on the Crucible after going through like some type of wormhole. And
Wild wormhole.
now they're here to try to open the vault.
So, 2 new houses. Now, we've talked in the past about how we didn't think it was a good idea, right, to add new houses. But honestly, I love the way they're doing it. Now, in my mind, originally, I was thinking they were going to add like an 8th house and a 9th house. And they have. But in a set, they're cycling out 2 houses. And those 2 houses are...
Mars and Sanctum.
Okay, I'm okay with Mars being rotated.
I'm
out.
good with Mars going away, but Sanctum, I really liked Sanctum.
Yeah, a little sad to see Sanctum go away. Here, let's move this a little closer to you.
But it is going to come back in like the future sets.
Yeah, they'll come back in.
They're gonna probably make this cool storyline with it, or like Mars, like the Martians has rebelled from these new peoples, and like. Whoa.
And the other interesting thing is that it's not like we can't still play Sanctum. We'll still have Age of Ascension, and we still have Call of Archons, and you can play against them just fine. So first off, we kind of knew this was going to happen going into Gen Con. There was a lot of hinting around it. There was the sticker sheet that revealed the 2 question mark houses that made it feel like there were going to be 2 new houses. And we ended up being right. The bigger news in all of that, I mean, this is massive, but the bigger news is they've confirmed a May and November release schedule. So if they keep this up, that means every May and every November we'll have a new set of KeyForge. I'm pumped about that.
I'm very excited about that also.
Because I think we got to the point where we've discovered what we want to discover with Age of Ascension. In my mind, they're not as strong as Call of Archons.
Oh no, heck no.
At least...
Some.
I mean, there are decks that can compete. Don't get me wrong. But in general, in our pool of cards, Call of Archons seems
To be better.
to be better.
Much better.
All right, so why don't we talk a little bit about some abilities? Do you want to talk about...
I'll talk about warding. It's a cool ability. Pretty much it's like a shield from death or your creature going away from the board. Like, it can protect anything. Like, it seems really powerful. But you can only have one warding on one creature at a time. Like, you have like 8 creatures. each one can have a warding on them, but you can't have more than one.
And it's sort of like in Magic the Gathering years ago, there was an ability called Regeneration. It reminds me a lot of Regeneration. So Regeneration was sort of like if a creature would be destroyed, it removes the regeneration bubble. I called it a bubble, but it's sort of the same way, right? So
Yeah.
any attacks that are going to happen to it, anything that targets it, it almost like if we make that thing leave play, instead of leaving play, it removes the ward. I think this is going to be super cool.
It's going to be
It's gonna be
very awesome because board wipes has no effect against ward. Banish all the cards that can purge a creature from the board.
It's also
damage
going to
creatures.
be painful
Yes.
to play against. When someone has one of those, you're like, I just want to get rid of that card, and I can't.
If Bad Penny's still over, I might just use Bad Penny first just to knock off the ward or whatever.
You're going to have to
really
do stuff
weak
like
creature.
that. You're going to have to do that. So warding, how excited are you?
I think it's gonna be overpowered. Honestly, like it's
depends
not overpowered. I mean, it's just gonna be interesting how it goes because if it like some decks might not get the warding cards or creatures can, and then some decks can, and then it's gonna be confusing and interesting to see how it goes. It's gonna change a lot in the battlefield.
It's going to change a lot in the battlefield. And just like some of the other abilities we're going to talk about here. So, Adam, why don't you do the next one?
Yep, the next one is Enraging. It basically forces a creature to fight. No matter what you can do, you have to fight with that creature. Each time you fight with a creature that has Enrage on it, it gets rid of all the counters, I believe. There's different special abilities you can do to make creatures enrage. Like for Shadow, they deal damage to a creature and then make it enrage. And then for Brahmanar, they actually enrage their own creatures and gain +1 power for them.
Oh.
For the special
That's
cards.
pretty cool.
Yeah, for a
So it's
couple
like, hey,
cards.
get bigger, but you have to enrage. It will be interesting because you do say remove all enrage. That's the one thing we're a little fuzzy on, a little bit, right? Because we don't know. So for warding, you can only have one ward at a time.
Well, you can
Yeah.
have more, but it'll just get rid of all of them.
Let's say a creature has warding on it, and then it get enraged and it fights
It'll get rid of the ward, I believe.
Yeah.
and then gain.
So the way I understand warding is like if it's going to take any damage or
Leave
if
play
it's
in
going to
any
leave play
way.
in any way, it just negates that.
Oh.
The thing that I'm interested in is like abilities like moving his position in a line. Like, does that remove the ward? I don't think it does, but we're gonna have to find out. Like, does targeting it in any way make that ward go away? You know what I mean?
It just says damage or leaves play.
yeah. So that's
basically.
probably a negative then. But I did see on the live stream where it was something weird about the wording, where I feel like they said something that made me think that it might be possible that it's other things too. Probably wrong. So anyway, back to enraging. So enraging is something that you just make. What I like about this, especially if I can with Brobnar,
You can make like their special creatures fight.
have to fight you.
Yeah.
that would be so cool because like, hey, all my stuff is big. I'm gonna send your little guy that's causing me a lot of headaches. He's gonna be enraged. You're gonna have to fight with him.
Like you can do it to Duskwitch, Archimedes, like any of those
Things
guys.
that would for sure die as long as you don't have like elusive guys on the field. It's kind of fun. But on the flip side, you can also make your stuff have to fight and get bigger. Which I don't really see too much of an advantage of that other than gaining that +1 power, but kind of interesting.
I mean, if Grump Buggy moves over, that could help for a couple low-powered
that
Brahma
could
creatures.
But most likely, maybe,
Maybe.
just maybe.
The next thing that we've seen that's revealed is Exalting. This is an actual really cool mechanic in my mind because it's like a risk-reward play where you choose to do some action, you get some benefit by taking an amber from the common supply and putting it on your creature. When you do that, the Exalt thing happens, right? But that amber is now captured on your creature, so when that creature dies, your opponent gets it. What I'm very curious about is in multiplayer how that's going to be affected, like how we're going to do those type of mechanics. I think it's going to have to just be whoever ends up killing that creature gets that amber in that case.
That doesn't sound so good.
I think it's great because
There are special cards like Paraguardian.
Yeah.
If you reap, you may exalt this creature, and if you exalt this creature, its neighbors gain ward.
So you can literally just reap, ward your 2 guys on the side,
And then he gets
send them in to kill
Yeah.
stuff. Next turn you can ward again. You know what I mean? Like some pretty neat stuff in there.
Okay.
It's pretty awesome.
And the one other thing that you wanted to talk about was anomalies, right?
Yes, it's like special abilities on a creature, or, well, at least we think it's only on creatures. But the thing is, you need to have a special thing done for that ability to actually fire off. Like for the Grim Reaper, he has this ability where he can come into play ready only if you have 10 discarded cards.
Yeah.
And if he does come in ready, he has a reap ability that allows you to purge a friendly creature, but also an enemy creature.
Yeah,
which is
right
pretty
away,
cool.
which is super powerful.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, worst case scenario, you purge Grim Reaper and one of their cards, right?
Of course.
If you can do something like that.
Well, actually, worst case might be just play it, and then you can't really use it right away.
yeah,
have
I
to
guess
keep-
worst case is you don't have the 10 cards in your discard
But you have
pile.
to keep on dising 10 cards for each.
No,
time
it just
for
needs
them?
to be in your discard pile.
Oh,
10
okay.
cards.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise it just comes in exhausted.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, I am super excited about dinosaurs. I don't know about you, but even in Magic the Gathering, I always love dinosaur houses. I love dragons. I was kind of hoping for a dragon house. Star Alliance, what's going to be interesting with them is like how I'm really curious. Dinosaurs are very, I think they just feel different. But I'm curious how a Star Alliance is going to feel different from, like, say, some of the other houses we've got. It'll be very interesting. I think Exalting is probably one of their mechanics that will make them feel a little bit differently, like the risk-reward type thing. Mm-hmm. I really hope they have, like, some tie-in to Mars a little bit. It'd be really neat if there is a Star Alliance guy that is like Mars, like the Martian would even be cool if he's like a Mars guy. Or part Martian.
I mean, there are...
Maybe he's a soldier Martian, but you know what I mean? But he's actually left the Martian house and worked for the Star Alliance. Or it'd be really neat if there's some crossover that we're not thinking about there. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about? Big news, like 2 Vault Tours this weekend. News about the new cards. There was awesome live streams, which if you haven't checked them out, they're on YouTube now. You can go to Fantasy Flight Games and check out some of the actual matches that happen, and then you can actually watch a game of people playing. Brad actually playing against I can't remember the other guy's name with some of the new cards, which is really fun to watch.
Oh, really?
Anything else on the new card side?
That's really it.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Vault Tour. The first Vault Tour was a sealed Vault Tour. It was a Age of Ascension sealed Vault Tour, and the winning deck was Maxima Hunter of the Eloquent Strand by Devin Churiboga. I think he's on Team Rebout too. I think he's on like one of the teams that are like coming up. And I'm looking at that deck, and that deck just seems phenomenal. Like, it has Archimedes, it has Hexpion, it has Labwork, Professor Sutterkin, Titan Librarian, Feel of the Researcher, Interdimensional Graft, which is super, super good.
Neutron Shark.
Neutron Shark, which is great. Snack Lifter, one of my favorite cards in the world. Ronnie Wristclocks. Miasma, Collector Worm. Let's see what else I have. Nerve Blast. Nizik's Resonator, which makes your opponent's keys cost more. Like
Special delivery
to
Nightforge.
purge stuff. And a key cheat with Nightforge?
Exactly.
Does it have Nightforge?
It does.
It does, yes.
Oh my gosh. It just seems like it's got Yahtzee Gang. I'm trying to think if there's any cards in there I wouldn't want in my hand.
I mean, maybe Carpet Fluxium, but
there's
that's
2 of
debatable.
those, and they give you Amber. And then I think the Xanthus Harvester might be a little on the weaker side. I don't actually know what the Quixelixel Plague Master actually is. I'll have to look him up after. But
Overall,
I am not surprised that deck won.
Yeah,
Like I'm sure Devin is an amazing player as well. So put an amazing player with a deck like this, like it's gonna be tough to take that down.
Do you know what the sasses of the decks are? Or no?
I don't know what the sass is of that deck.
I don't know either.
It'd be interesting to look that up. But I just like looking at the overall cards that he's got. Think about it with Archimedes up and Neutron Shark. Like you can just archive all your stuff and blow up all their stuff. Like it's amazing. He's got some cool combos in there.
I didn't even realize that. Wow.
Did anything surprise you about this deck when you guys were looking through it?
All the logos cards for archiving was pretty interesting.
Archive is powerful.
Like it has Phil the Researcher. Let's draw cards. Professor Sutterskin, Archimedes,
Titan Librarian.
Yeah.
I really have started to like interdimensional graph too. I mean, that gets you a couple amber sometimes. Like even if they do forge, you're like it's okay. I'll take your leftover amber.
Yeah.
And it's like it's actually pretty painful when that happens.
It is, yes.
So yeah, that was the first Vault Tour. I would have loved to have been at that one, and I would have loved even more to open a deck like this and going into the tournament with something like this. That'd have been like, I have a chance to go day 2 with this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is the one that I think was really the one that we talked about. It's like, was a Call of Archons deck or an Age of Ascension deck going to win the Vault Tour? And it ended up that a Call of Archons deck did win.
No really surprise there.
I do really like the deck. The deck's name is the Snappy Pariah. I love the name of that. And then Trevor May, is that the guy's name that piloted? I think it is.
Yeah.
If we got his name wrong, I apologize. But has Control the Weak, which is incredibly strong. Gateway to Dis, 3 Fates.
2 Doorsteps to Heaven.
2 Doorsteps to Heavens, which is pretty insane. I also think the Gorm of Am is really good to blow up artifacts that are bothering you.
Of course.
2
Bait and
poison,
Switch, which isn't as strong as what it used to be.
Protectrix.
2 Dodgers, 2 Shadow Shelves, Custom Office, Special Delivery. I think those are really good cards.
2 Schulers, which I think are also really good.
2 Ember Imps, but that might also hurt you also in the long run.
Yeah. The thing is, though, with Ember Imps, if I'm remembering it right, that's the guy that when you reap, you have to sacrifice the creature.
I thought it was Stun.
It might be the stun one.
Oh, that's AOA.
I can't remember.
That's Ember Imp is like the creature you can only play like. your
Oh,
opponent
yes,
can
you're
only
right.
play.
Oh, my gosh. The imps
It's
have
like
gotten
a
me.
very powerful card.
Andrew's right. The ones we're talking about are AOA.
Yeah.
This is the card that makes your opponent only be able to play 2 cards a turn.
Oh, right.
It's like
right.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? That's
Ember Imp is super good.
He's
now,
amazing.
there is one card in here that really surprised me. And that card is Pit Demon. Why do you think this person played and did so well with a card like Pit Demon?
Well,
I think there's
it's not a bad card. He has a lot of Dick's cards that can kill that guy. For him.
exactly. That's exactly my thought too. Is when you get a Pit Demon and you don't have a card that can blow it up, like,
rip.
then you're screwed.
But he has 3 fates with it.
3 Fates is almost guaranteed to kill it.
Exactly. Gateway to Dix.
Yep.
Fear. Well, couldn't he fear his...
I don't know, actually. I'd have to read that card again. I don't think you can. Well, maybe you could.
Maybe.
Because is it enemy creature or
I'm pretty sure it's like enemy
creature?
creature.
I have to look that card up again. But Restaurant Guntis, I love that card's in there. The Cleansing Wave seems like it's probably not too great, but
Yes.
then you look at the 2 Poison Waves, and you're
Right.
like,
Yeah.
maybe that
Lots of
actually is
board
pretty
wipes.
good. Maybe you can get 3 or 4.
He's Gorm of
Yep.
Am, so he does have artifact control.
He's got artifact. Like, he's literally got big creatures with Protectus, Francus, Champion Tapperus, Bulwark, Shadow Self, Dodger, Schuler. So he's got creatures. He's also got ways to blow up the board. He's got artifact control. He's got Amber Capture. He's got Amber Steel. Like, this deck is pretty crazy. The 2 cards, like I said, Bad Penny is one that I never am happy to have. And then Pit Demon's one that could be a liability. So he would have to make sure that he's like playing that in a way that he can for sure remove it. Either the same turn he plays it or the following turn. But yeah, like another like super incredible deck. I would love to play a deck like that. I think it would be a fun deck to play and would do really well, as you can kind of see by winning the Vault Tour with it.
If you guys know what the stats of these decks are, please comment down below. Cause
We can look them up, too.
I mean, that too, but yeah.
I believe the Archon one was an 89.
You looked this one up?
Yeah.
Dang, that's really good.
Yeah.
It wouldn't search up in the Master Vault for some reason, so then I had to look up in Dex KeyForge, and it
you
came up
found
right
it.
away. Yeah.
That's because the Master Vault searching is kind of bad, but that's this is like very picky. Customs Office is also another cool one that I think is kind of interesting.
One.
Yeah.
It's bad at the late game.
It's definitely bad late game. Very bad late game. And then Tolus, I think, is another card that's kind of interesting. Anyway, I did think Call of Archons would win the Vault Tour. I think it's for two reasons. I think Call of Archons is slightly stronger in power level. I also think the racing decks that are really good in Age of Ascension are countered incredibly hard by decks like this one that won the Vault Tour. Like, it's got... Because Age of Ascension, a lot of their ramp decks require creatures. And this deck can just blow them up and get rid of them. It also has ways to mess with how much you play. It has ways to like blow up, like just damage the board and just gain a bunch of amber. It's ways to steal your amber, capture your amber. Like, I really do think this deck was probably the perfect deck to bring for Vault Tour.
Now, for the Voltor decks, this deck, the deck we were just talking about, has Sanctum in it, and the other deck that won had Mars in it. But
Yeah, let's talk about the houses. That's a good point. So Disc, Sanctum, and Shadow. That is like
For the
three
Archon.
very strong deck, or three very strong houses. Two Doorstep to Heaven just blows my mind. I have not seen a deck with two Doorsteps to Heaven that we've ever had.
No.
Not that I can remember. And we've gone... I own 77 decks. I can't imagine, like, between all of us, maybe 150 or so. And then the Shield tournament deck was Logos, Mars, and Shadows. And I think Logos was incredibly strong there, and Shadows was strong there. It's just interesting to see that Shadows is in both of those. Not that that says that much, but it still is kind of... Even with the changes to bait and switch, Shadows still making a pretty good run with it. Like, they're doing... I mean,
Shadows is still pretty dominant.
It's pretty good.
It is, yeah.
It also can get destroyed. Because, like, if you look at his Shadows, like, it's not the main house in this deck. Like, if you look at it, it literally has 5 creatures, and then everything else is just, like, amber generating, a little bit of steel. His main house, in my mind, probably the Disc, maybe the Sanctum.
Somewhat Sanctum.
Because the Sanctum has 2, 3, 4, 5 creatures. But I'm seeing like Tolus, 2 Shulers, Restaurant Greta's, Pit Demon, 2 Ember Imp, Charette. I feel like Disc is what I would probably play main house. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited by like just the information that we got from this Vault Tour. What are you guys' thoughts on this last deck?
I think it's pretty amazing. Like, it's a deck, like, it's like the dream deck I've always wanted, basically. That's everything I really wanted.
Amber control in all 3 houses.
Yep.
Amazing.
Pretty good creatures.
I feel like this deck would be weak to a few things, but
Yeah.
like I'm thinking about some of our decks, and I feel like it would maybe give it a good run for the money, but I feel like this was a good meta pick based on what I understand.
For sure.
Does anything?
Did this deck dominate in the battle?
I mean, it finished first at the Vault Tour, so
I mean,
it,
like completely destroy people, or just
you know, that's a good point.
or was it like so close where he just control the weak and barely won it? Like,
That is the thing with Control of the Week. That does happen. If I had to bet, I don't think this deck probably dominated. I did not get to see. I have not watched far enough in to see the finals yet because I'm trying to watch them in sequence. So I don't know if it dominated in the finals. But I will say Control of the Week at the right time is devastating. I could see this deck having done pretty good. I really doubt if it was playing another deck in the top, the finals, that it dominated, though.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I may go watch
mean-
that over the next couple days as I work my way that way.
I mean,
and
it's
then I'm
really
like,
good,
oh, yeah.
But I bet there was other really good decks there too.
I've got through most of the Sealed tournament stuff now, and I'm going to be going over to the Archon one now. Anyway, So we've got 4 new abilities. We've got 2 new houses. 2 houses rotating. We know that the new set's coming out in November. The next Vault Tour is during the worst time possible. I'm really bummed because it's only like 5.5 hours away from us, and we could drive there. But they're going to be in school those days.
You should go.
I probably should still try to go, but I probably can't because.
No, why not? Oh yeah.
Because
yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Got other things going on at that time. But anyway, that's pretty much all I have for this week. Sorry, this one's a little bit later. Just had a lot of stuff happening around the house that we're trying to get caught up with. But we still are getting in some KeyForge. Oh, one last thing. Age of Ascension is on the Crucible.
It is.
It is indeed.
We talked about it last episode. Might as well talk about this episode also. Spread the word.
I'm thinking about that now. So if we said it last week, I apologize for saying it now because I've actually got a chance to play on it recently, and it's done a really good job. I was curious how they were going to implement deploy, and that ended up doing it. I thought they did a really good job of that. I just want to say thank you again to everybody that worked on that. But yeah, I'll probably mention it again next week because I'm super happy and excited for that. And it also helps clarify things. A lot of times we're like, man, why didn't that work? Oh, there are some times that like we've made assumptions about cards and they're actually wrong.
Yep.
And the Crucible implementation makes us rethink their evaluation of that card.
Like for one example, it just recently happened to me. I have the War Chest out in Bingle Bang Bang, and I used him to attack, and it has a before fight ability, and it killed 2 creatures, but then it didn't work because the War Chest said after you fight.
Yeah, so it killed them before fight.
It did.
And we were like, wait a minute, what happened? And then we're like, oh, before fight.
Yep.
If we were playing in person, we might have not even have noticed that. But so now we actually...
I mean, I've seen...
We should have noticed. We should have known that.
We should have, yeah.
And thought about that. But it's just not something that we've had come up yet, like in an actual game. But it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And Adam's been playing his, like, unbeatable deck, which literally I just cannot beat that stupid deck no matter how hard I try. On the Crucible, and you've actually been doing pretty good.
Yeah, I've won every single game so far that I've played with it.
Yeah, and it's only like an 80 stats deck, and it just blows my mind. Like, I've tried everything I could. And he actually played against the deck that out-creatured him, and he still beat them, which also blew my mind.
Like, every single creature I threw down, he basically killed it right away.
Which my theory was, like, if you can kill his creatures, you can't win, but that apparently was the wrong theory.
Most likely, when they do a new update for all the decks and what's the rating there, your deck is probably going to go up.
I mean, if they find out my combos, I mean, like the time mechanic interdimensional graft combo.
They're going to realize that combo. Like, there's people researching all that stuff and figuring out all that.
Yeah, you'll have 7 Amber. He'll put 2 Titan mechanics down and then play interdimensional graft, and he'll steal 3 Amber from you and then forge a key. Like, and then there are times where you're like, oh yeah, I'm gaining all this Amber, and then interdimensional graft you, and it's just insane. It's that, or he'll
miasma you.
Yeah, he'll miasma you,
and then interdimensional
you just
graft.
literally can't go above like 6 Amber against that deck. But the problem is he always has stuff to stop you if you do.
Like
it's
Saints
super painful.
Capture.
And then you get to the point where you're so far behind, you're like, I just got to gain all the Amber I can,
and then
you just lose all your stuff. So you just lose all your Amber because of the interdimensional graft. And he has ways to re-archive things. It's just crazy. But anyway, that's it for this week.
Wait, one more thing.
One more thing?
What do you guys think for the Grand Star Alliance and Stirring Republic? Like, what houses do you think they're kind of like? Like for...
Yeah, I mean, and like, which one are you guys excited about?
No,
right?
I mean, like, which houses do you think they're
similar to?
So yeah, the Sorin Republic's probably similar to Brobnar.
But also, when I read over what they were exactly, they said that they had very high tech from being around 75 million years.
So like high tech Brobnar.
They had so much high tech that apparently people thought that they were using magic. Apparently.
Oh, that's kind of cool. That's their backstory on it.
That's their backstory.
Man, I haven't had time to read through. I read through some of it. In the post, the website post, what they announced it.
They said Bronnar's afraid, like, kind of worry.
Like they second guess them attacking them.
I just feel like the Sorin Republic are going to be like bigger creatures like Brobnar, but maybe that's kind of cool. It'd be like a Brobnar logos, you know.
I'm guessing the Grand Star Alliance is mostly where you're going to get your award.
Yeah, I don't know. I think warding might be the Soren Republic. I think Grand Star Alliance might be the I'm trying to remember, the Exalting, and Enraging might be the Soren Republic.
Yeah, Raging would probably be.
They might even carry across some of both of them,
like Brognar and Soren Republic, maybe.
That's what I'm thinking too.
I think they're gonna add warding to Grand Star Alliance and logos. So.
They definitely could add warding. I don't know if warding is going to be like house specific. It'll be interesting to see.
Like just random cards in each house.
I saw it in Untamed.
It was in Untamed?
Yeah, it was Untamed creature.
That's cool.
With it. I really feel like by the names of the both houses, I believe there's going to be special synergies between a couple houses with each other.
Yeah,
you know,
for
like
sure.
they're in alliance against the other houses.
That would be kind of neat.
And like there's
so
disadvantages having certain houses with other houses.
The one thing with the Star Alliance that we didn't talk about is that they have creatures that come into play, but then there are upgrades that like
give them special ability.
Give those special creatures, like specific creatures, special abilities. So if that upgrade is attached to a creature by the name that it has on the upgrade, it does like more than it would if it was attached to a regular creature.
Interesting.
So, and then there are abilities that allow upgrades to move from creature to creature, which I thought was kind of interesting because we haven't played with moving upgrades yet.
We haven't.
So I think that's kind of neat.
I mean, maybe they're gonna add lots of upgrades if they add that.
I think Star Alliance might be like upgrade heavy.
Maybe it's like the
trickery.
The assists for other houses, like Brognar and the dinosaurs. Like they're just power those guys up.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Like most of the Star Alliance people, I'm guessing they're going to be smaller creatures in general.
Yeah.
But they're going to be trickery. They're going to be like,
somewhat like shadows.
I can exalt these guys. I can ward these guys. I can.
Because shadows kind of trickery too.
Yeah.
Stealing.
I wonder if there's going to be a lot of like steal in either of those houses or capture.
Maybe.
Because Sanctum's kind of the capture house. Is one of those going to take over
and
like
Sanctum
the capturing?
is gone, so maybe
maybe one of those will be a capturing house.
High tech. That means they can
maybe they replace capturing with exalting.
They can hack their stuff.
That would be weird because exalting takes it from the common supply.
It does, but maybe it'll like throw in a little twist to it.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Do you think there's a way to get like legacy like Maverick Sanctum Mars cards into other houses?
Most likely.
I have no idea.
They should do that though. They should definitely do that.
Like it would have to be a legacy Maverick. Probably.
Right? It would be pretty rare. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very rare.
That'd be really cool. Be kind of neat if you got like in Soren Republic, you got like Barristan Joya. You know what I mean? In Soren Republic as a legacy Maverick. Be kind of neat.
Or like a special
Saddle Shelf and Soren Republic.
Well, I think if you get like a special card to move the amber off of your guys to your pool from exalting would be pretty cool.
That would be really good.
Man, I don't know like what we're going to do for the so what are we now? August? Yeah. And we have all of August, all of September, and all of October, and then sometime we have more than 3 months before the set comes out. We need to get a bunch of games in and get really good.
We need to upload those battling videos, too.
We still need to upload, and just haven't had time and working so much. Need like a week off just to do fun stuff, like do this stuff. I think that's it for me now. Are you guys good?
Yeah, comment down below which house you think would be much better. What do you think of the houses? Like, what's your new favorite house? Are you sad about Mars and Sanctum going away? Hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, keep gaming, guys.
Keep gaming.
Bye. See you in the Crucible.